a lot of background sound, yeah. So excuse us, yeah. We are trying our best to give the best content to everybody. Again, I would like to welcome everybody and thank you for choosing me 2 o'clock for the talk, yeah, online live, rather than because now also there's a live talk from our Prime Minister, yeah, regarding about next week plan, yeah. But thank you again, yeah, for choosing us. Okay, let us start with this sharing of pandemic issue, yeah, that towards our HR challenges today. So as what I know, some of you, okay, I can see. Okay, some of you are coming from HR background, and some of you are businessmen, and some of you are MBA students. So it is very, very beneficial to you to, we say that get ready before the rain, yeah, or trying to adopt the new culture today. Okay, let us, for further without ado, yeah, let me start with my agenda today. Okay, so agenda today, I will talk about things that you already know about COVID, just to introduce a little bit, and then I will go to the impact about this COVID to our society and also business. And we're trying to look into the traditional model and also the digital model that adopted today. And we're trying to look into the concept of working from home, what we call as virtual space, yeah, working space. So workspace, virtual workspace. And there's a little bit, as when you call academician to come into life, when you talk about business, we talk a little bit about theory. Okay, so this theory will be very helpful to look into whatever strategy that you're going to set. You have to look into this parameter. Okay, so we call as trilogy concept. We would like to share with you later. And the last part about the critical function that HR have to focus. Yeah, that they have to focus on which function is the most critical during this pandemic, because we are changing from a physical environment to a virtual environment. Okay. So let me start about what is COVID-19. Yeah, everybody know about it. It is, COVID-19 is a coronavirus disease that suddenly, without any indicator, it's just come in, and attack our human. Yeah, in 2019, yeah, they discovered there's something, with this disease, and it is spread through the what you call through the droplets, yeah, or saliva of us. That's why everybody is with the mask. Yeah, wherever you go, it's with the mask. But today I'm not with the mask because it is virtual, so I'm not seeing you physically. Okay, so but until today, life is still a question mark because there's no specific vaccine or treatment. Yeah, even there's still test run. If you watch news yesterday, it's still test run about whether to take malaria pills, whether to take the Ebola pills. We don't know which one is the best. Okay, still in the trial run, still in the testing. Even Trump say, okay, you have to take this medicine, and it's still a failure. Okay, you talk about all these things. And then the last part, it is about the fear and anxiety. This is what this COVID-19 given to us. So the fear that we have when we see human being. But when we talk about HR, it's about human being, human. So now you have fear to see people. So that is something that, and you feel anxiety after I'm meeting this person, what will happen to me after that, right? There's a lot of question, after activity or physical seeing people. So we are start to be disengaged. Yeah. So, but when we talk about organization, disengagement should not be there. Engagement should be promoting, yeah, more and more. Okay, so that's a little bit about COVID-19. Okay, so let us go to the impact to the world. Yeah, to the world. Um, about this pandemic. Yeah, it is, before that is only epidemic that's happened in China, but today we call it pandemic because it affected the whole world. Okay, as what we know today that concern us a lot, it's around 1.6 billion people worldwide lost their job. But we have a question mark, why it's so? Can we reduce this number with the help of virtual world? How can HR help us? Yeah, how can HR? Because HR, it is the best partner of us in the organization to reduce this number. Okay, to reduce this number. So the issue right now, the scientists say we still have 2 years, maybe 2 years, maybe 1.5 years. We don't know when the vaccine will come in. Still in the experimental stage. But if let's say after 2 years we get the vaccine, what happened to the distribution? It takes some time also, right? So roughly, if you want to stay on in the business, when we want to make sure that our business sustainable, it's roughly around 3 years. We have to try to adapt to this new culture of lifestyle, yeah, working lifestyle. So let us look into the strongest country in the world. That is, we look into the data of US. Yeah, when we talk of world, we always look at US. Yeah, so we this is the data that latest one. If you look into the Great Depression that happened in different years in different century, we can see that this pandemic really giving the very a great what they call depression to US, where 32.1% of people losing their job. Yeah. So let me bring you when we try to compare with other what they call external factors. Yeah, when we say external, it's not because of our company is not perform, because of external factor. We can see that actually this lockdown, it's really affect us a lot compared with double dip recession, or the stagflation, or .com, when the .com, the unemployment rate happened. But this is the Great Depression that having the highest one. Yeah, really is a bad thing. So after looking into the world, why not we bring it you to the business entity? Yeah, the business by sector. So looking into the sector, I divided this sector into 6 sector. Yeah, that is a very important what you call businesses. So I categorize it into the sales. Yeah, sales, production, supply chain, HR, finance, and IT. You can see that the extreme, company that, especially they're in the what they call main function of their sustainability, it is on sales. So it's around 37% the impact towards them. This we are talking about 2020. We're talking about ranking. Yeah, when you rank it, okay, that is the the most impact. Like sales, we talk about because sales need human. Okay, need human. Production, we need human. But IT, why is 3%? Because they can sustain with technology. Why finance is only 4%? Yeah, banking. Yeah, because they still can go on with online. They still can go with the virtual world. You can still can do banking from your home without going to the bank. So the effect to finance industry is not that bad compared with sales. Okay. So then 12% is the HR. That's us. Yeah. So and then supply chain. Okay. That's also because when the two end cannot meet, the supplier and the what they call customer, the supply chain breakdown. And the meat people we are the one, the organization, yeah, the businesses and the production, yeah, manufacturers. Okay, let us look into another statistic. We get to know all the surface area. We get to know all the numbers, because without this number, we cannot come up with a strategy. We cannot come up with a solution or recommendation. Okay, understanding which industry that really doing very bad. Let us look into the traffic growth of each of this industry. So you can roughly know that if you are coming from advertising, if you are coming from traveling, how bad the traffic of growth to your business. Yeah, how bad. So when you see that media, wow, that is the fantastic industry today, the fantastic one. They are really, because everybody it is connected to media. They want to know the information, what is the latest. So media is really the top 10. And then we look into the finance, as what we said just now. Finance is not much of affected by it. Food, because it is our routine, we need that. Healthcare is going up very well, but insurance going down, yeah, so it's going down. So based on this, again, then we understand that where we are, if you are coming from SME, because you are the organization that affected the most in during this pandemic, because the resources that you have is just limited, because when they lock down, it is almost 2 months already in Malaysia, but next week is 2 months. So we can see that, how bad, because sometimes the what reserve money that we have, it's only can sustain it for 1 month. Just yesterday, there's one what do you call clothes, we call it as little, I forgot, in Singapore, one of the clothes industry is already 174 years already, doing the business. That is the last branch, and closed down because of the pandemic. You see how many years they're trying to sustain. Just because of pandemic, they have to close down. Okay. So finally, we look into the layoff and unpaid leave. You can hear that a lot of news, especially the airlines, especially during our phase 2 in Malaysia, phase 2 of pandemic. You can see that AirAsia say most of the employee has to take unpaid leave. It's not first is volunteer. It's go phase by phase. The first first phase, it just goes by volunteers. But after that, no volunteers want to take up, because it is their rice bowl. You see. So then the second part, what they did, they tried to cut off the salaries. 75% of the management, they have to cut off the salary. And some management, the highest management team, they say it's okay, we will go 6 months without salary. So a lot of way of trying to cut costs to take care of the overhead, yeah, but yet it's still very tough, because there's no business, yeah, there's no role of business, there's no activity of business that's really making a lot of tough for these businesses. So when you see this graph, the interesting about this graph was, if you see the white color, yeah, the white color, it is telling that this white color, what do you call, the chart, that let's say we look into the healthcare, yeah, just look into the healthcare, around 70, maybe 75%, they already means implement, whether they want to lay off or whether they want to go for a strategy of unpaid leave. Okay, so they already settled, they already implemented. But still, okay, if you see that still focus on the healthcare, okay, healthcare, around 32%, yeah, 32%, the company that they are pay hourly, they're still, going on with that. And salary base, around 11, what do you call, 11, no, 15%, yeah, roughly 15%, the salaried people, they're still maintaining in the company. Yep. Okay. So the most interesting part coming up, after knowing what happened to the world, what happened to the business, which percentage, which ranking, and what happened to each of the industry, whether they're going up, whether they are going down. So we are very clear. Let us go into what is the business challenges. Actually, why the unemployment happened, why the layoff happened. This is because of the sales volume gone down. Yeah, gone down. That's why we cannot sustain. But whoever that already closed down the company, this is no more an issue for them. Okay, start from this from this 9th slide. I'm going to talk about the businesses that still sustaining, okay, that still surviving, that that try to make them be productive or efficient day by day. This is a solution for them that that's still in the stage of survival. So one factor is because of the sales volume going down. Second is this customer experience going down. Means that customer, when we are in the physical, what they call setup of environment, customer experience totally different, because we can give the best of the experience based on the experience that they feel it, that we can come, they feel warmness, or the feel, when we are physically, it's so easy to talk, so easy to deal. Okay, so customer experience gone down. Okay, the second factor. And the next one, the last one, looking into the supply chain issue. Yeah, it's also breakdown, where the supplier and also the customer cannot meet up. I think you all watch about the news about the Cameron. Yeah, they are dumping hundreds of kilos, 300 kilos, 200 kilos of vegetable to the drain, because they can't meet the customer. Okay, so this is where the why the business need help from the government. You can hear, we can see that they need help from the government. Please help us. How can we supply this product? We have the product, but we can't meet the customer. So you can see that all the minister will come, the agro bazaar. You can suddenly the agro bazaar, what you call platform coming in. I say, so you aware about that. Okay, so understanding this three factor, let us talk a little bit about the tradition operating model that usually that we are doing it before the Chinese New Year. We're doing it all the while until the pandemic came into disturbing our transaction here. At the time, there's no problem. Everything is in proper. Management happy, people happy. Okay, very clear, guidelines, very well-being. It's taken care very well. And then the performance, it's easy to monitor. And face to face, we are enjoying the transaction of face to face, and all these things during the traditional what they call operating time. But what happened to the pandemic time then? Change management come into place, especially when you are in a businesses. When change management come, when something to change is very tough, and we learn that, and we are trying to change people. I still remember a case about Maxis. Yeah, what happened to Maxis? The time went from the 4G to the 5G, when people cannot, adapting to the new system and learning the new system. What happened? Cut it off. Cut it off. It's almost a three-digit number. Three-digit. Yeah? I'm not talking precisely how many, but because it's very confidential. So it's around three-digit. Yeah? Three-digit number. They are laid down, lay off all the people. Yeah, lay off because of they resist to change. Okay, so in this during this pandemic, change management is a very important. Yeah, very important. So how we are going to create the workspace, the normal workspace, the workstation at office, and how we're going to change it to virtual space. Okay, because when we, let me share my experience of changing my workstation from a physical office that I can meet my student to the virtual workspace. It's really, a horrible experience, especially the first month where I can't go out and I have to work from home, where a lot of things that, environment make a lot of, difference for us on doing work, on productivity. So that 1 month, my productivity is not the maximum. I'm maybe around 30%, maximum I can go for 50%. Because when I see the bed, it's the bed say, come, rest, you're tired. When I see the kitchen, people start cooking. If you see that, all this kind of issue happen. We don't have the mood. We lost, we depressed because we don't have a proper guideline. What should we do? When we're going back to office, the anxiety is so much there. Okay, and slowly after 1 month, it's really helping me a lot, and I'm getting used with that. I adopting the new culture of life, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm trying to best giving the best experience to my customer, that is my student. We are trying to reduce the gap, yeah, of having class in physical classroom and having class in virtual. So how we engage them in the classrooms, and then I'm start enjoying it. But a lot of things that we have to learn. Okay, and we look into this when we talk about virtual space, don't forget, you have to redefine your JD. Yeah, we have to redefine which job we can digitalize and which job we can't do it. We are looking into the technology integration, how this technology integration can help us on certain part of the job that we can make it digitalized and make it efficient for us to run the business. Okay, and another thing that we have to look during this pandemic, it is about the employee well-being. Okay, you want people to work, but you have to take care of the people also, even though they're at home. Before all that, we are looking into OSHA, correct? You know, Organization Safety and Health. Make sure they are safe. Make sure there's no harm. And how if they are at home then? So we have to look into psychological and physical of them. Okay, we are looking to the supervision to most toughest thing. You always have a worry if you're the boss right now. You always worry whether my employee, subordinate is doing work or not at home, or maybe they become the celebrity chef and they are not focusing on the job that you're given. You have, and how I'm going to see whether they are doing the job or not. So you have that, that perception, when you're at home, whether they really do the work that you are given. Can they finish on time? Because we have to deliver certain services or whatever through online. And we're looking into the sustainable business. So this is where we're looking into the supply chain. Okay, so how we trying to minimize the supply chain breakdown through technology. Actually, there's a lot of software that can help us on this what do you call some of it. I think you all known it about SAP. Yeah, you heard about CRM system, you heard about ERP. Okay, so you heard about all these terms before. Okay, so this kind of software, you can use it for your and we look into the remote working. Okay, this is a very important concept here. So now we know all the problem. Okay, so during the pandemic, whatever is that, you have to work remotely, you have to be at home, because we are trying to take care the well-being of our people, because people who working with us is the most precious asset compared with the physical asset. If you lost the table, if the table spoiled, you can buy it. But human, if you lost the talent, you cannot get it back as the same. Okay, so we are looking into remote working. So we have we need the integrated technology, yeah, especially the digital integration to create the space when you're at home. Okay, so this is we are looking into the speed of internet. Okay, as what we hear that today, Rachel cannot join us, and Wania has to replace her. And this is because of the technology integration is not properly in place. Okay, so how can we say that the remote working it's working very well? See, so just imagine when you don't have another successor, or another backup. The work of today, you will not see us live, right? Okay, and then a proper communication. This is a very, very important. We have the technology you put in place, you pay everything, the best technology in the world, but if the communication is not well communicated from the top to down, everything also will go to the drain. Okay, this is a very important. You have to be very transparent to all your people. Okay, you have to what is the status of the company. You have to make them more close to you. You have to tell what is happening. Okay, whether I do this, whether I do that. Okay, this is the policy. You have to get the feedback from them and trying to be team. There's no bosses at this moment. We as a team. Okay, so upskilling, wow, this is also a very important. You have the technology, you communicate with them, but how I'm going to transfer the training? Yeah, because you see, we're talking about the workforce of the old age and the young age. Okay, how we are going to make a change for especially for the old age? We are talking about 40s or the Y generation. Yeah, we talk about the Y generation. We talk about the baby boomers if they're still around working. Okay, how are we going to make the change? Okay, but for the young generation, it's no issue. Okay, because they are very good in what you call getting know about this technology. So how I'm going to give a proper training in the virtual world so that they know there's a beautiful technology, expensive technology, the best technology, and I'm training you so that you have a positive attitude so that the business will smoothly deliver and give the best experience to the customer. Yeah, and increase your competency. Yeah, this is very important. Okay, so let me share you about how we in the education, and this software, it is free, and you will love this software. Or we say there's a platform, online platform, where we can work remotely but with productive and efficient way. It's almost like you can feel that I can say 20% only is not similar with physical working environment. Okay, so this is I share with you Microsoft Team. Okay, if anybody wish to, okay, if you are coming from a company and you wish to get a training also free. Don't worry about that. Okay, the software also free. So you just give a contact to what you call Vania. Okay, so I can connect you to the person in charge to help you in the Microsoft team, because in the Microsoft team they categorize into four category. One is classroom, that's mean we are educator, it's really useful. Another one is a working space for all the professional people. So when you do a project, monitoring, you can see that the statistic that whether your people are working the performance, yeah, digital, through digital, how they, the reply of the email, everything wonderfully trained, yeah, by Microsoft, and everything is free. You can access them on demand, and also sometimes they have a special class for a niche slot for a certain program. Wonderful. I got that training for the last 2 weeks, and it's really helping me a lot to deliver the best customer experience to my student. And they start enjoying, and they say, Miss, I start loving virtual class. I start loving virtual class. So Microsoft team, look into it. It is because you also enjoying your Microsoft Words, Excel. It's so easy, right? The Microsoft team also as easy as that. Okay. And then look into some tips that we have to give to the HR team, yeah, or the bosses. One is set the expectation early. Okay, it's what you think that, okay, set the expectation, and often. Remember the words often. But when you're in the traditional, you don't do often. Okay, but this one often, because we don't know. We are trying to test, evaluate, and found that, oh, okay, a little bit adjustment. So always remember, the expectation. Always set early, and then after that, always do the changes. Yeah, and then be organized and flexible. Very important. You organize, okay, because as what I say that the Microsoft team helping you to organize things. And it's also give, don't forget to give flexibility to your employee, because when we are talking about working hours here, don't forget, especially for mothers, yeah, don't forget that is another group of very talented people we call as mothers, and today is their Mother's Day, so don't forget about them. So talk about flexi hours here, especially today that the kids cannot go to the school, and mother has to devote their time to in the same space, from 8 to 8, 24 hours to take care of all the kids, and also the same time to do the duty, yeah, for their rice bowl. So you have to be a little bit flexible, because especially for that special group of people, yeah. So don't fix the time like the way you fix the time 8 to 5, but try to be, make sure that, okay, this is the targeted, you have to give by what date. Even sometimes they were much more comfortable at night, but the end, give them a flexible time. Okay, sometimes and then adapt to the length of your meeting. Okay, when you're in a virtual class, believe me, meeting is too much. Sometimes I don't know how to monitor myself. I become exhausted compared with the physical class. because I'm meeting my student. At the same time, I have to go for online training. At the same time, I have to meet my professional group of people. So the meeting is non-stop. Sometimes you get exhausted. So what you're going to do, make it short, and don't forget you have a chat, because sometimes people feel good, by just chatting, because we're not necessary that we have to call for a meeting like the way we are having a meeting in physical, like 2 hours every week. We can have a short meeting, okay? And then track your workers progress. Okay, that is, if you're always worried about the performance, so you track them, put them into work schedule. Okay, work schedule. And then communication, again, communication is very important. Okay, and then provide team with the right equipment. Okay, without the equipment, you have everything, it's also, you cannot perform. So equipment is very important. Okay, when we talk about equipment here, we talk about the tools, we talk about, the laptop. Make sure it is up to date. Yeah, make sure it is good to use. They make sure that there is a internet line. Okay, and data sharing is also an issue here. So for all this HR, because some data, it is a very PNC, private and confidential, and we can't share it, virtually, because we never know how it, uh, in whose hand will end up. Because especially we have a lot of news about this virtual platform, a lot of hackers coming in. Okay, a lot of hackers coming in. So data sharing policy, you have to look into it. Okay, and then we look into the performance. Okay, from the remote working, we are looking into performance. Okay, and then we are looking into traditional to the new model today. How we going to optimize, yeah, the hourly working. So one way, there's one company, what they did, because the system, it's still new to them, it takes some time. So what they did, they make what do you call, performance sheet. Yeah, this performance sheet, they're giving that, okay, from 8 to 5, what you are doing, every week they are sending to the supervisor. So you can do that. Okay, and then face-to-face supervision is also very important. So through the virtual class, through the virtual platform, we also can have that face-to-face supervision. It's not an issue. Okay, it's not an issue. And then sustainable business, because talking about today, it's okay, especially when you see the restaurant today, that they say, as long we open, it's okay to be slow, but it's not okay if it's not running. Okay, so you can see that the performance will be a bit slow, but there's a lot of SOP to follow. And then because the space, it is the issue right now. We cannot, everything is 1 meter. So the distance, social distance, so it's always slow down the pace. Even you go to the boutiques, yeah, now it's Hari Raya. So if you go to the boutiques, there's a lot of procedure. If you go to UK, there's one boutique, interesting. They say if you enter, you have to pay for $1 extra for all the utilities they're given to you, like sanitizer, because they wash everything, they clean everything. So they need, there's an extra cost. So in Malaysia, yesterday we watched that some boutique, they say you can see, but once you take it, you cannot try it. But before that, we try the clothes, how it is. But today, even though you go to the shop, you can't try it, okay? There's a lot of SOP. So business become very slow right now. But most important thing, whether I can sustain the business, that's the most important thing. Okay, so the performance will be a bit slow, okay? But it's a lot of SOP to be followed. And then the gap, yeah, between what you call the technology skill and also the real skill of the people, yeah, real skill. So we need to upskill, yeah, we need to upskill. So how we can say that sometime, I tell you one thing, let's say the person is in the village or in the kampong. This is what happened the past 3 weeks, yeah, up to phase 3, that people cannot cross over. Okay, just imagine if they're stuck in the village for 3 weeks and there's no internet, or even if they have internet from their mobile, the bandwidth is very slow. So how they perform? But they are the best performer. Okay, so how this upskill can we can use technology so that we can help them. But now, thank God, things are getting better, where people can cross over back to their original place. the working, the working space, and have a good technology to support them. Okay, and then we look into the concept. Okay, I will make it very fast, yeah, because I think I'm more than 30 minutes ready. Okay, so look into this concept, trilogy concept. Okay, it is about people. Okay, so as what we say that in a company, people is the main assets. Okay, so how I'm going to make these people become competent, that having positive towards the change, or we say the readiness for technology, a readiness to adopt the new environment. Okay, so we look into the competence. Okay, competence means the skill of that people having, the resources that are available, the attitude. If you look into whatever I talked just now, everything is surrounding to these three parameters. Okay, so if you want to do process mapping, you have to look into these three parameters. You have to see whether they have the attitude to change. Okay, so if they have attitude to change, but resources is not there, people will not change. If they have attitude to change, but competence is not there, people will not change. You see? So these three parameters, whatever you do, when you do a strategy, it is a very important parameters to look into in everything. Either you do the process mapping, either you do the remote operating business or upskilling. You have to constantly communicate so that all these three, can be come together and give you the best strategy. Then your business can be sustainable. Okay. And the last important part here, it is employee engagement. Okay, so how we make people engage? Because end of the day, if you don't engage, you are not motivated to do work. You're not motivated. You will, just say, just do the minimum. So again, we are talking about communication. Without communication, everything gone. Okay, remember to listen to them. Okay, sometimes you think that this is the right way, but people who implement it will know the experience. So remember to listen sometime. Get the two-way communication, get the feedback, yeah, from your lower level. Build up the connection, yeah, with your team. Either you want to have a fun chat, okay, like a WeChat, WhatsApp, whatever platform that you have, try to connect that, try to create that. It really can help them psychologically. Yeah, very important, because you can see that a lot of depressed. Let me share you one case in Sarawak. One of the teacher, because of the online teaching, she cannot cope up, she commits suicide. Okay, she commits suicide. This is how bad, if there's no connection, no support from the team. Yeah, receipts of micro. One thing, please, whenever it is going for virtual environment, micromanagement is not a proper place to do it. Yeah, please avoid micromanagement. How you feel when every single minutes your boss is calling, every single hour they are calling you, you feel, hey, don't you trust boss? Please trust me. I will make sure that everything is, if they don't perform, okay, fine. Okay, you can do that, but try to avoid this micromanage. Okay, and then don't forget to give rewards also. Okay, even though we are not in the physical, but don't forget to celebrate success through virtual world also. Give them rewards. Yeah, evaluate them, evaluate their performance. Yeah, because when we talk about virtual world, we are talking about creative way of doing things. Yeah, and then recognize contribution. Okay, this back to how you make people happy. Yeah, make people happy. Okay, for the HR people, we are looking into here. Always when you communicate, please be transparent, and always keep the momentum there. Okay, we either is a bad news, either is a good news, anything to motivate them. Please share with them. Yeah, share with them. Give them a working hours, flexi working hours. Okay, work from home is a good one, but without a flexi hours, it's very tough for them. Okay, short. Okay, and when you give the what they call deduction. Okay, because we cannot maintain the overhead. Understandable. Okay, if you want to cut a salary, okay, please tell them this only for temporarily. At least you will not give them anxiety. At least they say, oh, okay, it's only happened for 6 months. only happen until the pandemic end. At least the mind are clear, the worry is not there. Okay, and don't forget to upskill. Yeah, upskill your employees. And then whatever information that you want to share, be careful. Today a lot of fake news, a lot of fake news. So whenever you want to share something, please go to, like, about health kind of things, or about procedure, please go to the minister. Or if you are globally right now, because we're talking about global right now, maybe not in Malaysia, look into WHO. Yeah, they're giving you the best of SOP. Yeah, look into that. Or look into the Center for Disease Control. Please don't just cut and paste from somewhere and then say, okay, this is what we have to implement. Yeah, okay. And then look into culture. Culture is a very important aspect here. Now we are going towards the digital culture. Okay, we are trying to reduce policy and we're trying to adjust guidelines. Always remember, in the culture will be a bit different. You cannot say, okay, because you're working from home, you will not get your annual leave, whatever is that. But try to look into it. Okay, the two partners are very important here. Whenever you want to do a policy, later I will go to the policy. The two partners, HR, remember, one is the risk management team, another one, it is the, what you call, I forgot later. There's a risk management team, and also the business operation person. Yeah, it's a very important. You have to work together and trying to reduce this policy and look into the guideline. Okay. And then, okay, policy, you can see the sick leave policy. You have to look into the contract and temporary employee contract policy. You can look into what is the flexi policy permitted for family that's sick. Yeah. And then to perform the environment cleaning, very important. And also how you educate people. Yeah. So look into that policy. And the recommendation for HR, whatever you do, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to implement, look into your cash flow. If you want to recruit, no problem, look into your cash flow prediction. Okay, if you want to promote, no problem, but look into your cash prediction. Okay, do the list of key employee and success plan, very important. Okay, what's the key employee? You have to find them. Okay, and what is the success plan for them? Okay, because everything is uncertain. Today you're here, tomorrow you're not here. Okay, touch wood. Okay, and then of course, nowadays we are doing decision in the hurry phase, but always remember to align with the long-term vision that we set up. Okay, it is a temporarily, but always remember, okay, it's good to have a decision, but don't forget to align it also. And then recognize and keep the performance. Performance is a very important people. Okay, and corporate culture, it should shift to the trust-based culture. You have to trust, no micromanage. Okay, let me share a little more things. Okay, you will see that especially for business people, consumer behavior change. Yeah, they will change the way of buying things, the way of looking things. And then the change from the consumer behavior will lead to the change of strategy of the business and also product and services. Okay, so this is confirmed, the trend will be there. Okay, so be aware about that, business people. And another one, we always talk about work-life balance. Work-life balance, once you're working at home, work-life balance will be what you call a gray area, because you're staying at home. How can I have a work-life balance? I experienced that that I almost working 7 days a week, because we don't know when is the cut-off time. Because if in the office 8 to 5, we know that 8 to 5. But once once you're working in the virtual world, you don't know what is work-life balance. Okay, for that, thank you very much. Okay, for all of you, you can act as a catalyst. Yeah, you can act as a catalyst and business partner too. Anybody, we share the best to everybody, and we try to help everybody so that the business can be sustained and the employment rate can be stopped. Not stop, I mean, it's like can be controlled, manageable. Okay, thank you everybody, and take care.
Okay, thank you, Miss Normala, for the very great session, sharing session. So right now we're gonna go into the Q&A session. Okay, so we'll start. We'll start with question from Facebook. Okay, so question from Facebook. So, wait So, a question from Facebook from Mr. Rajagiri said, what is the requirement for transmission of traditional HR to virtual HR? For example, requirements like technology, KPI, attitude, or soft skills, etc.
Okay, as what's that again, Mr.?
What is the requirement for transmission of traditional HR to virtual HR?
Okay, transmission just means transformation, right? A transformation from a traditional platform. Just now we are talking about the transformation, from the what do you call traditional to virtual class, to virtual world. So there's a lot of one is upskill. Just now we are sharing about the upskill. Yeah, upskill is very important, and another one is attitude. Yeah, attitude of the person. If you look back, it is go to the typology. Okay, if you want to go for a transition or you want to make sure that organization is ready for transformation, okay, typology it's a very important attitude, competency, and technology.
Okay. Next, also coming from Facebook, is it mandatory for employers to pay employees during the MCO? And if not, what can employees do?
Okay, compulsory or not compulsory, it is all based on the policy back. Okay, because we are looking into sustainable here. We are looking as a team here. Whether it is your right or not your right. Just imagine if you say that the company has to pay and they pay you and they collapse. What happened to the long term? Yeah, they close down. So it is about a win-win situation. Yeah, we talk about team here.
Okay. Next, Google has just announced that its employees are working home until 2021. Will we see a rise in virtual workspace?
Will be seeing the
Rise in virtual workspace?
of course that is but we can't predict that 100%, but the trend for sure, we for sure that of course we are going because we start adopting it and we start liking it, and when you comfort with that, you will see that the trend will be there. But prediction whether the company want to go for 100% or not, it is still a question mark.
Mm. Okay. Next is I'm the one who was to ask this. Okay, so based on my experience for the past few months of MCO and like online meetings, I found out that people are very shy. Like it's hard for them, even though it's for example it's only a 10 people meeting, it's hard for them to actually express their opinions. And like even though we ask them one by one, they will say no, nothing. We don't have anything to say. Like how do we actually tackle this kind of communication problem? Like
we don't say it as a communication problem. We're looking into the culture right now. Okay, it is a culture where we are coming from a physical where we don't, even physical also we shy, right? When we ask, you have any question, but from the expression of that face we understand there's a question, right? But shyness, it takes some time when we want to induce culture. Yeah, especially the technology culture, the new virtual culture, it takes some time to clear this shyness. Yeah.
okay, next also from Facebook. Uh, will we see a rise in companies further reducing their workforce after this pandemic?
Okay, when we talk about reducing, not really actually. When one position close, a new position will come up. But this position that coming up, a new position, it is going to be a technology base of technology. Yeah, I mean it's like position. So don't think that we cutting off some job. No, actually they are actually switching, switching over to that. So unemployment, it will find one stage that it will stop. Yeah, it will stop. No need to worry because one close, another one, a new position will open. But with a new JD, new JD. That's why we have to redefine our JD so that we can sustain our the rate. We cannot increase the rate. Okay.
Yeah, and then next is also a question from me. Because of this working at home trend keep on rising, because now we actually have the period where everyone is agreeing, oh, we need to do everything online, and everything, and every company is advancing their cyber system, cyber security. I see that there is a worry that actually, for example, us business people, it seems as if we are replaceable. Like it seems as if like we are replaceable, and now people are more focused on like IT system people, and like it seems a new worry that we may be losing a portion of our job in the
Okay.
job industry.
A good question. Okay, if you notice that today, especially the government, they are looking into changes of education. They are looking into STEM. Yeah, STEM. I think science,
Mm.
technology, and mathematics are very important, and engineering is a very important aspect. Started from the young generation. If you see that since last year, they
Yeah.
start changing that because we are going towards that integration. We're going towards to technology based integration. It's not only
Mm.
100% no, yeah, human. Okay, but don't feel that you lost a job. Actually, make sure that you become efficient. Okay, the only thing is for all the graduates, don't stop learning. Please make sure that you have an attitude to learn. That's a very very important, especially during when you're uncertain. Learning is a very important thing, a habit of learning something new, exploring something new. Okay.
Okay, then now let's move on to our Zoom questions. Okay. Okay, so Sarah asks, how can businesses prepare for the future in order to ensure they're ready to face such unpredictable challenges?
Yeah, there's a lot of we are sharing just now. Actually, if you Sarah, if you see that a lot of things that you have to get prepared. There's six functions that you have to look into. Yeah, Sarah. One, it is your engagement. Yeah, performance. Yeah, performance, engagement, performance, and let me get back. Yeah, because
I'll wait for a while, guys.
just give me a while.
Or you want to see it?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Only a minute.
I'll wait for a while, guys.
Okay. Give you some pointers, Sarah. Okay, Sarah. So you have to look into as what we say, the engagement. Just now we are talking about it. We look into the learning and development. That's where the upskilling. We look into the total rewards. Yeah, that's one function very important. Workforce management. We are changing the workforce environment. We are looking into employee relation. Remember the customer. Yeah, customer experience is very important, and also the technology. Yeah, the technology. These six aspects, a very important function. Yeah, as a HR when you want to get ready for the unpredictable challenges.
Next, Sarah also asks, even though technology now is way more advanced than in the Great Depression period, there are still greater job losses and higher rates of unemployment now. Why?
Why? As what we say, that the customer experience, you see, who is buying your product, how you make sustainable. If you don't have a customer, that's it. That's the end of the story. See, it's all lay on the customer experience here. Yeah, customer experience you cannot give, customer will switch over. Especially when you have a virtual platform, easily they are switch over. So understand the consumer, okay, consumer behavior, they're going to change. So if you have a team, you make sure that try to understand that customer behavior.
Next, Vanessa asks, due to this situation, what can the graduated students do to increase the opportunities being employed by the company?
Okay, you see,
It's an interesting question.
okay, for graduates, why you want to worry? What you worry is worry today. Don't worry for what happened tomorrow. Live for today. Okay. So what you have to have it is as what I shared just now, the habit, yeah, of learning something new. Don't only that when we push you, then you do, but start exploring something new. Start exploring. Just now we are sharing a lot of things that we are looking into this six. We are looking into the system, yeah, the type of system, CRM system. We look into ERP. Try to learn about all these kind of things. How the e-performance, we are looking to measure all kind of things you have to look into, yeah, to get ready.
Okay, regarding the state, I would like to ask, like usually when we go to university, they always say that, oh, we need to learn Excel, we need to learn this in preparation for office work and everything. But actually, like how advanced should we be in like Excel and stuff like?
Wow, you have to advance, especially because you see, this is a sharing only. Yeah, keep it. Don't say anything. If you see that most of the program, when we are sitting in the program, it's we want to run a program. Let's say I'm opening a new program. We are talking about 3 years back. Demand
Mm.
of the market. Yeah, once the 3 years back, then only we have to do the accreditation and everything, and it takes that process around 2 to 3 years. Faster also 1 year. Then after that, the new student will come in. Okay, we are talking about that time, what the demand on the market, and we are trying to create the fulfill that demand. But after 3 years, only you're going out.
Yeah.
So, but whatever that you learn in the classroom, it is a basic, it's a fundamental. But you as a student, you have to go crossover, explore something new. Like what you say just now, Excel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you go to the Microsoft. Actually, Microsoft is a wonderful company
Yeah.
where they support you a lot on training and development
Yeah.
and learning, the advancement. So try to explore a lot of things that you have to explore. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, because I just see that there's a trend that people always say, "Oh, you need to be good at this, you need to be good at that,"
Mm.
and they usually when we go to internship or like job when we
Mm.
want to sign up for job, they always say you need to be proficient.
Okay.
Proficient.
Okay,
Like,
see,
it's
good.
such a great area, a gray area. What do you mean by proficient?
Okay, so that's a funny part. You see, every student always remember before you graduate, okay, during their 3 years, it is a planning actually. These 3 years is not for you just to sit for exam and finish the exam. It is a planning time. Where I want to go, which country I want to go, which company I want to work with. Okay, you're looking into your career pathway. It's not like what people say you must be good in this, then only you do. No, it is where you want to go based on that route map. Okay, set your goal. What should I learn? Yeah, before I reach there, the third year. So by the time that 3 years, before the 3 years, before you graduate, you have
Yeah.
enough equipment, to really fight with the the demand outside. Yeah.
Because and like you and I really understand what you're saying because like we set goals and everything.
Mhm.
And to like for example, I was planning to go to Japan, so I'm
Mm.
learning Japanese
Exactly.
and like learning all these skills so that it will be better. I have a higher chance to
Exactly.
be accepted.
Exactly.
But I see that a lot of my friends, especially us business students, like they have a lot of worry about which sector of business that they actually need to tackle.
Ah.
This is a big worry. Like, should I go to HR or should I go to
Ah.
this? Should I go?
Okay, so that is this is a normal what you call phenomena to our young generation. They don't know what they want to do, what even a program. Which program should I take at the beginning itself? Yeah, people say they're in the crossroads. I don't know what to do, what I want to be. Okay, so there's a few assessment actually. We can help you. One is aptitude. I think you heard about aptitude assessment. Another one is personality. Yeah, personality, MBTI. You understand your personality very well. So whether you are more towards a manager or more towards teaching or more towards at least there is a direction for you. Yeah, actually there's assessment. Okay, that's you can even ask your HR lecturer to give you the assessment, the class, so that you would know what actually I'm suitable for it. But always remember, this assessment is not ultimate.
Yes.
Yeah, it will change according to your environment, who you with. Okay, let's say the last 6 months you are meeting one pilot guy, and you start liking that job, and you say I want to go. So when you answer, the towards to that technical kind of thing. But once you meet another person, lawyer, and you change your path.
Yeah.
So but somehow it's a guideline. When we say guideline for you.
Okay. So it will be better to choose a job that suits our personality or choose a job that we like.
Okay. Usually, me also having that that confusion before. Last time when I was, let me share a little bit of story. I was like you before. I When I graduate also, I don't know where I should go. somehow, thank God, okay, it's because I'm a scholarship student, so I end up working there. So I have a time to what you call think about where I should go. So when I start working, I understood that I don't like that kind of environment. So I see that's alternative. That I was in the education line. That's the best part. I was in admin, but in the education line. So when I start, it's not because of my interest. It's because opportunity come. Okay, and slowly then I discovered that actually I like it actually. Okay, I like it. So it is a very
Yeah, it's a hard thing,
a
right?
hard thing. It's all about you. Okay, so either you want to go for someone that you love, you want to marry someone you love, or someone that match, your parents match. So both also have their a good thing
Yeah,
about this. Yes.
I understand. I understand. It's just that because like I, the older people always say about this about our generation is that we don't like how the younger generation keep on changing their jobs. Like after 1 year, quit. After 1 year, quit.
Okay, yeah, but correct. What you're talking about, loyalty is no more there, right?
Yeah.
Loyalty is no more there. But you cannot, what you call, blame the youngster. Actually, a company should have a career development, a proper career development. Believe me, if a company having a pretty beautiful career development guideline, and support, that youngster will stay with you. You just go and survey. Not all. Okay,
Yeah.
if you get a right company, you will never leave that company.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never leave. It's about support. It's about career development. It's not about the job. It's about the career development. Whether you can get, you're looking forward for future,
Yeah. True.
something for you in the future, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then next, we had a long discussion about this. And then due to this situation, that's not already. What is what is the role of risk management in a company now that the environment is already very uncertain?
Yeah, risk management is a team of people. Yeah, that they are the one who trying to come up with strategy.
Yes.
Okay, they are the one who's sit with the operation management and find out what's the best way of reduce or manage the risk. We are looking into not talking about zero risk is a there. Okay,
Yeah.
if no risk, there's no life.
Yeah. Of
Okay,
course.
so we try to maintain or we try to control the risk. Yeah. Okay, I think did I answer that? Since the environment is already yeah.
Okay. So another one last question from me,
Okay.
because it's just that I find it very interesting about the, because like in my generation, working, the term working is kind of changing.
Mhm.
It's no longer the 9 to 5 office job, and people are like it's like you have even kids younger than me say that they want to be a YouTuber, like, but I don't I see that it's not sustainable, like from my generation it's not sustainable. Like they say that they want to do this and they do it and then they just fail halfway and then they just go to another one. What do you think about this? Like should we, like, for me I would like to try out office job first, but what do you think about those people who hates the term office jobs?
Okay. So let us look here. Student will come out, they graduate.
Yes.
There's two option only with you. Either you hunt for the job or you create the job.
Yes.
Okay. So the job hunter, okay, the one that want to work 8 to 5, and the job creator is the entrepreneur people.
Yes.
Okay. So we always encourage as a teacher. Okay, we always encourage student to go for creating a job. Okay, of course, as what you say, it's not sustainable. Today you got the business, tomorrow you don't have. People don't like you, don't have money. No likes, no money.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the attitude of taking risks, yeah, as entrepreneur, that's the wonderful things that we should encourage the youngster. But some youngster also, okay, we need to balance both because we have responsibility.
Yes.
We have debts to pay.
Correct.
So it is good to have something that what you call in parallel. That means you give your 20% of your time to doing into the backup entrepreneur kind of thing, but another 80% of your time, that's mean Monday to Friday, focus on the normal routine job.
Okay, so now I heard that some company actually, I don't know, I just heard about this, but some company actually forbid you to have two jobs at the same time.
Oh yes, of course, especially because it is against the law. Yeah, when you are what do you call employed by somebody because they are taking your skill but they're paying you less, and the other one is taking all the risk. They're paying your what do you call a benefit and your insurance and everything. At the end, you are providing that side. That's why I say you as individual, no problem. But you working with the ex company, it's a problem.
I see.
As an entrepreneur, no problem. But to work to the ex company, that's a problem. That you are sharing your skill to others.
I see. Yeah. Okay. I think we have a really insightful discussion here because like I had a lot of questions about our worries about as students that they're just gonna graduate soon.
No need to worry lah. Okay, just do your duty. Most important thing is do your duty. You see, you worry also no point. Most important thing is what is your basic duty. Yeah, yeah. Catch up with your study. Make sure you sustain your grade. Yeah, focus on your study. That's the most important thing. Don't worry about future because this pandemic, it might be tomorrow. The scientists say we have the vaccine.
Yeah.
Then things will end before you graduate. Hey, I got the job. You see that? And we always have to look into positive. You see, a lot of people, especially in US, there's a lot of vacancy actually. The only thing business cannot run.
Yes.
Yeah. So once it's back to normal, I tell you, a lot of people looking for job, and you have possibility to go to US. Okay.
Amen. Okay. Thank you, Miss, for the very wonderful discussion and talk. We really thank you that you're willing to do this for us because it's not an easy talk and you need to prepare a lot. So thank you for the time that you've put in this seminar talk. And I would just like to say to our participants, thank you that you guys choose to watch us instead of the Prime Minister broadcast. And we know that our MCO has just been extended to 6th June. Yeah, MCO has been extended to 6th June. So I hope that you guys will stay safe and stay home and stay safe. And we will come up with more interesting events for you guys. That said, thank you guys so much for participating. We'll see you guys next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.